sunrise, I'm too live, I'm too fly, I'm too God, I'm too divine, I'm too to mine, too refined, I'm through the lines, but you define. When I shine, you shine, shine. I'm hot steppers, we protect, and I'm both blessings. It's all love from king to thugs, not a judge. I'm a model of an anomaly, young bottle, then full throttle, pedal to the metal till I'm boiling hot as a kettle. Made a solemn promise in my spirit, I never settle. Sing the song for the good times like Aaron Neville. They've been longing for them good rhymes, I'm on the level. I've been on it till the morning, break it dawn, and I've been answering my calling, going on and going all in. I will never stop, give me my pocket spiritually, I'm ballin'. And lyrically, I'm Jordan with the dose of heavy. Hot as a Serengeti, they ain't ready, getting kinda heavy. I'm feeling so amazing. Woke up, I'm so amazing. Stepped out, I'm so amazing. Too fresh, I'm so amazing. I'm feeling so amazing. Woke up, I'm so amazing. Stepped out, I'm so amazing. Too fresh, I'm so amazing. I'm so amazing. Too calculated for any equation. Too acclimated to any occasion. Too immune to all the term persuasions. Yeah, always I'm walking out of my best. I guess I must confess it too just to the contest. I've had pain way too long on my chest to ever think that I'm less than the gut above all the rest. Royalty in my blood, regality in my veins. Mad love in my heart and the joy that can be contained. Cause I'm always reminded, for what my eyes can't see, my third eye can never be blinded. When the devil's on the grind, sing the swan the sideline and undermine a God mind. I say this after on the sidelines. Cause I ain't got time, I'm on the watch time. Deceptive but decepticon from upper echelon. I'm feeling so amazing. Woke up, I'm so amazing. Stepped out, I'm so amazing. Too fresh, I'm so amazing. I'm feeling so amazing. Woke up, I'm so amazing. Stepped out, I'm so amazing.
Let's set your flyer. You got it?
Okay.
Yeah. We amazing out here, family. You already know what time it is. This is Soundbytes International Radio presents African in Business, which we air on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, speaking with various Africans across the diaspora in business, whether in the U.S. soil or abroad, to show the importance and why it matters to be an African in business and why it matters to understand that we do hold the power to economically empower and economically influence our own communities, that we are who we are. We have all that we need to grow and to manifest within our communities. And it's possible to be very much economically stable in this society across the globe and within our communities. So that is the purpose of African in Business. For those who may be tuning in for the first time, as a subset of the Soundbytes International Radio brand. And of course, I'm Hesser Khan Neferah, and this is
Neferah too, my auntie.
Yeah, you already know how we do. So, so very excited to have today's guest on today. We have Chief Foday from BSANI, the Black Star Action Network International. He'll be sharing a lot of tidbits of wisdom around what the organization is about and the work that he's been doing. So we'll bring him on. And we'll let him talk a bit about what's going on with that, right? So, do you have anything to say before we bring the brother on?
No. Let's make a warm African welcome out here for our Chief Foday.
So, good brother, Chief Foday. How are you doing, brother?
So, listen, welcome, Baba. How are you today?
I'm fine. Y'all look great. Thank you.
Thank you. You as well. We appreciate you. We love the energy coming through the screen right now. So much love.
Yeah.
Thank you,
power
brother.
Up. Give thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I see y'all, the royal family, man.
Absolutely. That's Shay. Yeah, you know how we got to do.
Radio.
Absolutely. International.
I'm very happy to be here, man. I'm a fan.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. And when I say I'm a fan of the content. The content is much needed. And y'all keep it real. Y'all a husband and a wife. Y'all a family. I see that RBT behind you like I see it behind me.
You know how we got to rep. You know. Yeah, we definitely appreciate that, brother. We received that, graciously. And this is what we're here to do. We're here to bring the African family on and share and give the energy exchange, here on the show and here on this particular type of show. And in the spirit of sharing with the family, we wanted to just give you an opportunity to really all out introduce yourself and what you do, the work you do.
It's so massive.
Right, it's massive work. So we wanted people to really get a take on what is happening with what you're doing in Sierra Leone and just in this international work. So why don't you give us just share with us, brother. What's the story that the people need to know?
Well, I mean, the way I see it is that it's the same struggle everywhere we are. A lot of the things that we're suffering there, we're suffering here too. And
yes,
so first and foremost, I'm not going to paint a rosy-colored picture of the motherland. I will be doing you and your audience a disservice. But I'm also not going to ring the alarm and tell you that Africa is not it. Africa is it.
Right. We clear.
Africa is it. So I want to introduce myself first, just to make sure that people understand who I am.
Yes.
My name is Chief Foday Ajamu Mansaray. It's a name that evolved because, of course, that's not the name my mother gave me. But it's a name that was given to me, and I cherish it. I mean, it's really who I am. Sometimes your parents give you a name and it don't match you. It don't match your character. It don't match your background. Nothing. They just pull the name out of anywhere, and you're supposed to just rep that. So I refuse. I refuse a lot of things, and one of the things I refuse is to keep carrying European names.
Hey.
I am the founder and executive director of the Black Star Action Network International, a international Pan-African organization. Many organizations focus on different things. We try to focus on a number of things at once. Of course, Black Star meaning Garveyite. You see the flag. We're not just Pan-Africans. We're race first on top of that.
Facts.
Some people will say I'm a Pan-African, but then put class struggle before the racial struggle.
Right.
I want to be clear that Garveyites have never done that because we're the people.
Right.
So we have BSANI, and I can talk more about it later. I also serve as the local president of the Freetown 232 division of the UNIA ACL Rehabilitating Committee 2020. And I serve as the West African ambassador under that same parent body.
Yes.
I function here in Sierra Leone, in Freetown, every day as the chief executive officer for the Gullah Redemption Mission Sierra Leone. We'll talk about that later too. It's very dope. It all goes together. You're talking to one person that I got my hands in different things. I also serve as the executive director for the Gullah Nation of North America nonprofit organization. And I also serve as the appointed, elected paramount chief for the Gullah Nation of North America community, which is a independent community of Gullah Geechee descendants who decided to internationalize our struggle, who decided to not let it be confined to a corridor that is defined by the federal government, but that we follow the bloodlines and the lineages and the people. We know that the Great Migration displaced 6 million Africans, and many of the people that make up the current population of New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, along the Eastern Seaboard, you chase your roots back, you'll find yourself within North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So that means you have a direct cultural, historical, biological connection to all the history that happened in that region that never happened nowhere else in the world, like the Gullah Wars. Over 100 years of wars that we fought against the United States of America for our freedom during slavery, but they tell you about the Underground Railroad to the north. They don't tell you about the Gullah Wars in the south.
No.
We have a great legacy. Some people are trying to redefine us in the interest of integration, and we are an organization and a movement and a community that refuse that. We simply refuse. We resist that. We will label ourselves. We will title ourselves. We will identify our elders. We will identify our chiefs. We will identify our warriors. We will identify our workers, our nurses. We will do for ourselves. We will do for ourselves as Gullah Geechees. I'm also just on in terms of what I do. I'm a Pan-African political activist. I've been involved in political activism over 21 years. I'm a freelance journalist. an editor. I've published material in the United States. I've published material here in Sierra Leone. I'm a social entrepreneur. When you see me organizing, I'm also trying to find the best way to empower people that organize like me.
Right.
And try to make sure that resources are abundant enough for us to carry out the task, even if individually we don't have enough. It's okay. Right. Collectively, we can handle the task. So just trying to economize the grassroots organizing in a way where people get more benefits for their labor, because community organizers work. We serve.
Yeah, right.
And I'm an international organizer. I say that because there's various levels of organizers. Some people are very well-established organizers locally, and I'm not saying that as a shade. Some people are good in their state, in their region, and that's their level. Some got a national level of organizing. But I have been through those stages, and I define myself as an international organizer. Because even right now, I'm organizing here. Today I go to the office. You know, tonight I'm here with you. You know, and before this, I was on a call with a sister giving her a lesson because we're coming with some educational packaging. So the work is always going on. Y'all over there, the sisters in Florida, I'm in Freetown, but every day I'm organizing internationally. So it's international organizing. Little bit of personal stuff. 41 years old. I repatriated in 2013 at the age of 33. I felt like I was ready to come. I had been like eager to come already. I made so many connections in Africa. I had already believed the dream that at the end, Africa wins. And I wanted to be a part of the victory. And I realized that for my own field, the community organizing, that I can only do so much for so many people in America. And I realized that I can still serve my purpose to my community in America, even if I'm abroad, because there's many people that's seeking to extend our community to the continent. And there's very few people that we can trust. There's very few people that we know who know how to organize. There's very few people who have organizational backgrounds before they repatriate. And repatriation requires organization. It's a mass movement. It will happen throughout the century. And so we need organizers on the ground, not just people who have money, who can try to get you to buy something. It's not about that when you come back to Africa. Come back home and see where you fit in and make it worth it to the people and to yourself. That's where we at with it. You know, I watch everything on YouTube. I watch the social media. I personally stay out of it.
Yeah, good for you.
Because the action speaks louder than words. Black Star Action Network. Action is our middle name. You know, so we rather have our action speak for itself. I'm a Gullah Geechee, of course. I'm a father and grandfather. My grandson is just turned 1 year old last year.
Blessings, a young king.
Yeah. Of course, I'm a husband, and I'm a coronated traditional chief in Sierra Leone among the Mendika people. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Give thanks. Baba, listen. And just for the community, Baba is a salutation of respect and honor. Chief is his title and his designation as bestowed upon him for his work. So can you explain to the community, because we have people at varying degrees of understanding, what your chief title, what it came with, how did you acquire it? But what I call Chief Baba is the sense of honor and respect to his stature, his position, and his authority in the space for the work that he's done. So it is a sense of honor and respect. So Chief Foday, can you explain to our audience what is your chief, your title, and how did you acquire it, and what does it mean?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Chief Foday Ajamu Mansaray. I personally don't like the name Chief because Chief is the European name and label that they gave to our African kings.
Right.
And so if I'm saying chief, I'm being nice so everybody can understand the status.
I got it.
We got to bring the bridge. We get it.
We're trying to build the bridge.
Yeah.
Chief Foday. Yeah, yes.
And so I got the title chief originally from the Gullah Nation of North America. In 2015, Ebola was the thing over here.
Right.
But BSANI was leading a Ebola awareness campaign. It took me to Guinea-Conakry. I was there 6 months. Came back to Sierra Leone. You know, nobody died in the communities where we did our sensitization. Nobody. But in other communities, we lended support to people who had to bury bodies and had to keep gloves. And it was real out here, and people over there thought we was playing. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, yo, it don't look good if I'm out here and people see me, you know, organizing, and then they don't support in a time like Ebola. It doesn't look good.
Right.
And the people here, they were saying that to me regularly, like, hey man, what's up with the people, man? We all the same, right? I thought we was all the same. Ebola is real. We over here dying. What's up? And people over there were saying it's fake. Oh, it's Bill Gates. It's this.
Yeah.
And I have people in my extended family here who died.
Mm-hmm.
My doctor, the guy who was healing me from malaria when I first got here, him and his assistant died.
Wow.
You understand? So it's like that. People were dying around me here. And I was the only repatriated in Sierra Leone. Period.
Wow.
So there was like, I couldn't reach out to another one of us, like, yo,
right,
what's up? Yo, let's amplify the voice. But because of BSANI, we were able to run the campaign. And so we had a community-based organization here. We registered ourselves here. And when the thing got real bad, I went to Guinea-Conakry and we continued the campaign there. And our campaign focused primarily on the ghetto areas. We went down in the areas where even the police don't go there until they arrest people. We went down there and make sure that our people at the bottom know that this is real and what they could do, because they were the most vulnerable. And so just with our mouths, we were able to arm people with the information that they needed. And if they didn't take it, then that was on them. But at least we gave them the doses they needed.
Right.
You know? And it was very, very difficult, bro. I would never want to go through that again.
Imagine.
People were looking to me for leadership at that moment, and I was doing my best here. And people were asking, well, where's everybody else? And so I began to campaign to Gullah Geechee people. I said, yo, you know, we talk all this stuff about being connected to Sierra Leone. What's up? And even to the point where I reached out to Queen Quet of the Gullah Geechee Nation, and I asked her. I said, "Hey, I said, am I the only Gullah Geechee repatriate in Sierra Leone?" And she basically snapped on me. No, there's other people there. They've been going there. I said, no, man, nobody here.
Wow.
And I asked her. I said, well, what should I do? She said, well, go to the government. Go find the other organizations. Since you're there, they can help you. And I said, wow. So I am a Gullah Geechee legitimately. My family had our reunions in Charleston and Florida all the time.
Right.
I got dozens of cousins in Charleston right now. The only way I ever got sensitized to my identity is directly through my mother. My mother could speak the language and everything. She was born and raised in South Carolina. You know what I mean? So when you think Gullah Geechee, it's not just them Sea Islands. It's not just them Sea Islands. The Gullah Geechee culture was developed around the rice plantations. It wasn't developed around the cotton or the indigo. It was developed around the rice plantations. The white man couldn't be close to them Africans because of malaria. That's why we sustained so much of our traditions and our culture, and our language was different. So even everybody who was enslaved in the same region wasn't planting rice.
That's right.
After the slave trade, after all of this, it became a common culture. With the Gullah Geechee culture from the rice plantations being at the center of the culture. So Africans came together and created an identity. based on resistance and rebellion. And that's who we are. That's what our history tells us. It doesn't tell us that we're shouting and just, talking crazy or just eating good food. No, it says that we took up arms against the United States of America for 100 years. That's what it says. That's what it says. And so we neglect the history because we lack political education.
Right.
Yes.
We don't understand how important it is to have an identity because we lost it.
Right.
So now that we're reclaiming it, we have to actually defend our claim. Claim anything. And so what happened, the long story short to you, brother, about the name, is that I reached out to some Gullah Geechee elders. They were already my friends. They were Pan-Africanists. They were seeking to connect with Salon even before Ebola. And so they was already watching the moves. At the end, we came up with, I believe it was about 6 elders. One of them from St. Helena, one of them from Orangeburg, one of them from Sapelo Island, and different parts of America, because we don't stop our Gullah Geechee identity at anybody's border. Wherever our people went is where Gullah Geechee people is today. And it's an identity that connects us closer to Africa than African American.
Right.
Okay.
You understand? Because it has a cultural heritage that you can find here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the reality. Long story short, we came together, we got some youth involved, and at the end of the day, we decided that we wanted to do some research to see how we can form our own community, because we are Gullah Geechees, and since 2000, we've been declared a nation, and we reached out to the Queen, but she don't want nothing to do with it. So, I mean, what we gonna do? And the elders responded. They said, you know what? Let's form a community. And we went through the process of understanding what unincorporated association status is, that is legal.
Right.
But it means that I'm not incorporated with the United States. That's what it means. So we took the unincorporated association status and we built a Gullah Geechee community based on Pan-Africanism, not based on you being a Gullah Geechee necessarily, because we're all the same damn people. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Gullah Geechee people is that there's no Gullah Geechee unless we have an open door policy on Africans. That's how we became Gullah Geechee.
That's right.
We're an African community.
Right.
No matter where they took us from in Africa, once you reached our region, you became Gullah Geechee by socialization. And if you're a descendant, then guess what you are? You're a Gullah Geechee. If a Mende person is born, if a Mende from Sierra Leone goes to New York and has children there, that child is a Mende, no matter what.
That's right.
But you mean to tell me that if a Gullah Geechee is born in New York, he's not a Gullah Geechee?
Oh.
No. Listen, the word nation is derived from the name nation. Nation is a Greek word. Nation means blood. There's a law called jus sanguinis, and there's a law called jus soli. Jus sanguinis means nationality by blood. That's what it means. Our Gullah Geechee nationality is by blood. We claim it, we mean it. The elders came together. We looked at the errors of the ways of those who started before us. We came in peace. We created our little Facebook groups, started having our meetings, developed a constitution. We said we were going to model ourselves off of the existing traditional system in Sierra Leone, where they have paramount chiefs, they have village chiefs, they have sectional chiefs. Chief is a title that means that you're the authority figure. It means that the community has one word and you have it. We trust you with our one word. That's what it means. So I'm not talking
look to you,
now. I'm not talking for only me right now.
Oh, sure.
But I'm the one with the word. I have to talk it. So that's what chiefs do. Chiefs solve problems. Here in Sierra Leone, whenever somebody steals, they run to the chief. Whenever somebody's ill, they run to the chief. Whenever farming is coming and they need to plan, they run to the chief. And the chief is always assisted by a body of advisors, elders, and youth. And that's exactly how we are organized, the Gonona. And because we took the unincorporated status as a community, we also want to be able to do nonprofit work. So we took our name and we registered the Gullah Nation of North America into a nonprofit company. We currently have 501c3 status, and we're doing work internationally. So that is who that is. Now, when we created our structure, we put a paramount chief at the top, and we put 7 elders beneath him, and then we put 1 international ambassador there. I originally, even though I was the one who actually blew the whistle and said, hey man, we need to do this, I initially was 35 years old, 36. You trying to be nobody chief, man. I'm in Africa, I'm a repatriate. So they made me the international ambassador. I was like, no, that's what's up, because I'm already doing that work.
Right.
From there, I created the Gullah Redemption Mission Sierra Leone back in 2015.
Yes.
I sparked it with my first trip to my village, Bonaire. When I went there, I looked just like them people. They knew what it was. Straight like that. Straight like that. They said,
wasn't it good to be home?
Straight like that. It wasn't even allowed to talk. They understood instantly. And so nobody can say how people don't recognize us when we come home. I don't have to tell nobody here I'm a Mandingo. Nobody. They assume it, even if I don't say it. That's how strong genetics are, especially among Gullah Geechees. And so everybody ain't whitewashed.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, brother, I'm gonna sum it up for you, is that we appointed one of the founding elders, the first paramount chief. When we did that, all hell broke loose in the corridor. People felt like we didn't have a right to have our own community, but they got a right to have a whole damn nation and government to themselves with no accountability.
Okay.
No.
We're not here for that.
Behind me? You see that flag? This the rules we playing by.
Absolutely.
Sovereignty, self-determination for all African people. And Gullah Geechees are African people, so we're standing for our sovereignty as a people and as Pan-Africans. And so that's what the Gullah Nation of North America represents as a community. And at the end of the day, when you understand it, we appointed an elder to paramount chief. He passed away shortly after. Then we appointed a sister down in the corridor to serve, so that it didn't look strange. We give it to someone outside the corridor. We wanted to make sure that we had connections among our people. Somehow, some way, she thought that she was it and tried to register the organization without the consent of the community and got caught. Somebody blew the whistle on her. The secretary blew the whistle on her.
Wow.
And so we held a conference in January 2018. It was like this, virtual, everybody together in one place. And that sister was impeached. She was impeached live. Everyone, it happened live among the community. She was impeached. At that point, I still was the international ambassador. I wasn't trying to be nobody's chief. But the elders said no. They said, no, man. No, man. You're the one who called us to this work anyway. And on top of that, we done lost 2. We lost 2 already. One died and one got impeached. Don't nobody know this shit like you. Just because you're young don't mean you can't be a chief.
Hey.
Just because you're in Sierra Leone don't mean you can't be a chief. If we make you our chief, then you're our chief.
Right.
And I was like, yo, well, let's do it, man. Like, I can't tell you no. How am I tell you no?
Right. You've been blessed now. Like, you've been bestowed upon.
So that right there, I became the paramount chief of the Gullah Nation of North America community that was founded in 2015. I'm not big-headed about it. I don't really care about titles like that. I'm an ordinary cat from the hood. You know what I'm saying? But because of that, I understand what respect is. You know what I'm saying? A chief is like an OG. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna try him. You got a little bit of pull. You know what I'm saying? He can stop a war. He can start a war. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like that. So it's that kind of status. You know, OG is like a chief. A chief is like an OG in a community, basically. And so you can call me the OG if you want to, the original. You know what I mean? The original.
Gotcha. Exactly. I want to just say that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly,
you know
brother.
Yeah. So I got that crown. We call it crown. I got that crown from my community in America. April 5th last year, I was crowned in my village as a chief. I went through a traditional coronation ceremony. Chiefs came from 8 villages, and you can't make yourself a chief in Africa. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
If you come here for 3 days and they make you a chief, it's because they want you to come back with the money. But this ain't that.
Mm.
I repeat, this ain't that.
Mm-hmm.
The Gullah people here, the people here who know about the Gullah people at the grassroots, we were able to connect in 2018, November 2018, after all this time, 5 years. From there, man, we formed a unity, and they said, bro, you need to be recognized as a chief here. And I said, yo, man, everybody throwing crowns at me for what, man?
Right.
And they was like, no, man, it's respect. It's respect. We respect you. We ready for your one word. Like whatever you tell us, we ready to go.
That's real.
They're like, you a Gullah, man. We've been waiting for y'all to come back. Not white people, not someone else to tell us. You here now. We hooked up. So let's go crown you properly. And I was like, all right, because I have a village and I belong to a tribe here, I'm a Mandingo. They initially sent a letter of interest to the Mandingo chief here in Freetown. As soon as he got it, he was like, yo, you have to take him to his village because he's a Mansaray. Yeah. His people can crown him. Take him to his village if you want us to recognize him as a Gullah chief here. And that's what they did. They took me to my village. My village was like, yo, it's about time. Man, they killed cows. They did traditional ceremony. They carried me on a hammock. You know what I mean? They brought different tribal groups out, played different music, and the festivities was fine. But it was just the fact that this is the same ceremony that they give every Mandingo chief. It wasn't a tourist attraction plaything.
Exactly, right.
And it still ain't. I mean, it's 2020 right now. I've been a member of the community taxpaying for 6 years. My wife as well. Kenya is a member there. I just was there a couple months ago. My father here in the village, he passed away. He passed away. I had to go there for his burial, the 7-day, the 40-day. Because here, when you die, that's not it. That's not it. There's a 7-day ceremony. There's a 40-day ceremony. There's a 1 year ceremony. Depending on your status, they might come out for you 5 years straight.
Wow.
So it's all about the respect that you get from your service to those who benefit from your service. When they respect you, they will uplift you. A lot of people just want titles. They want titles, but they don't want to fit into the mold of leadership. Either you're going to be a leader or you're not. You can't fit with leadership.
Right.
And leadership is a responsibility. You have to say, I want to be a leader. You don't just wake up one day and get some knowledge and say, oh, wow, I'm a leader. No, not of a people, maybe of a gang or in a school or at work or some shit like that. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
But definitely like when you're dealing with lives, when you're dealing with children and women and men that need you, it's different. That's what I mean when I say leader. I don't mean lecturers. I don't mean scholars. I don't mean book writers. Some of them can be community-oriented leaders, but I'm talking about grassroots organizing.
Absolutely.
Grassroots, hands-on with the people in America and Africa. That's a completely different thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I hope I answered the question, man. That's how I got. That's how I got the title.
And it's perfect. You know what I'm saying? And give thanks, brother. We appreciate that energy and that lesson around that. And I think that was actually a perfect segue to the next question we had, which is really like, how did you so what can you explain to the people, share with the people about your recent effort, your initiative that really is tying in community, across the diaspora here with the Be Clean effort that's coming up. I want you to share with the people what that effort is about. And also like who's involved with it, who you got involved in, like also how can people get involved this for what's coming up?
Okay, absolutely. The Be Clean campaign is a campaign that was launched here in Sierra Leone by the Black Star Action Network International at a time before we were registered in the United States. We're registered in the United States now. We're headquartered there now. We actually plan to build bases all across the country now. We have members in New York, we have members in Pennsylvania, members in Florida, Georgia, Louisiana. We have members in Israel, we got members in the UK, we have membership in Zimbabwe, We have membership in California. So we have members, our membership is spread out. And we search for a certain quality of Pan-Africans so that it doesn't take a bunch of people to do what we require our members to do. You just have to be on point and do your thing. So the Be Clean campaign, it actually comes from somewhere deeper than recent. I tell this story often because I have to always give homage to where I got the original ideal to clean the community from. In the mid 80s, my mother, who was a minister when I was born, she fell victim of crack cocaine like so many others.
That's right.
And for 10 years, she struggled with that. She struggled with that for 10 years. And during those 10 years, I grew up, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't nice. At the end of it, my mother was able to get her children back from the system, and she was able to get a job, and she was able to get a home and get back on her feet. She stopped using drugs. She went back to her religion, and she rose up as a mother in the church. And a community mother, not just in the church, in the community. My mother she was the bomb. She showed me what it means. She showed me what it means to redeem yourself. What it means to get up after you fall. And in real lifetime, you know what I'm saying? Like when you lose all your dignity, you lose all your friends. You know, when you lose your own hope, you lose your faith. And
Mama's there.
You say, man, no, my kids come first. And you will yourself back to being a mother for the whole community. And producing children like me. Producing children like me, I could have went anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And for some time in my life, I went the wrong way, just like most people. And so, you know, it's not a better than anybody thing. One of the things that helped my mother to heal and got her back was that she began cleaning the community. My mother began cleaning the community. I remember she wanted us to be reminded of where she would change her life from. So she wanted to be clean. Exposure to being clean in terms of a community environment kind of sense. And I owe her for the concept, actually. And I say that because my mother passed away August 14th. Thing over here, man. I was over here campaigning, and my mother passed away while I was here. What happened next is that in 2017, I'm sorry, 2017, the same day, August 14th. Mind you, I went to sleep on August 13th, crying. Because it was the night I lost my mother. It turned the 14th that night, and I was crying. Literally, real man tears.
Hey.
Real man tears. You know what I'm saying? Like real man tears. You know what I mean? I was crying to myself, and my heart was broken. So, when I woke up in the morning, it was commotion all over Freetown. I didn't know what happened. Got on my social media, and there was a mudslide that happened here. A flood caused a mudslide overnight, and over 1,000 lives were lost. Most of the bodies were never recovered because they were swept out into the ocean. And so we responded to that. BSANI responded to that. We went there that day and brought relief to the people. We took we had some clothes, we had some children clothes, we had some school supplies that people had sent to us in advance. We was waiting for the right moment to give it out. And when that happened, we was like, yo, all of this is going to the people. All of it. Right. And we were gonna give them some bread. You know what I'm saying? And so we did that, gave them some bread, and then we took a list of their numbers and we stayed in contact with them. Our phones were open. But what happened is that we didn't live in the community where that happened at. And in the community where we lived at was on another side of town. And you know, the sanitation is not good here. Man, it's not good. You know, you go to the market, it's open air, it's dirt everywhere, man. The gutters is open. You know what I'm saying? And it might not be in the tourist places where you go, but where we live in the hood. We live in the city. And most of the markets you go to, our market serves 40,000 people. One little area, 40,000 people, one street market. And everybody get their food there. And so the people start complaining about a cholera scare. They said, yo, man, cholera gonna come because the bodies went out in the water.
Right.
People were scared that it was gonna be a disease outbreak. And so we was like, you know what? We're gonna do something more than just respond and give the people some clothes and give them some money and keep the lines open. Nah, we're gonna start cleaning the market right here where we eat at.
Right.
Right here where we at. We're gonna clean this market. We're gonna start being clean around here. Because just being clean kills disease. Just being clean.
Right.
Just being clean.
Right.
And so we was like, yo, let's organize the youth. We had a bunch of youth out here, man. We had over 50 members of BSANI out here at the time. And
nice.
The youth was like, yo, we ready. And it happened to be in the middle of an election. It was election time. And the politicians was all over the place. They was fighting each other. But this was happening and nobody was thinking about the markets. So we was like, yo, what can we do to bring attention to this issue? What can we do so that the politicians who are competing with themselves can see what we do and know that we need this done? Right. And but the whole campaigning, we didn't want to include the politicians. We didn't include any political party. We went to the youth and the market women. The youth said, we ready to clean, and the market women said, if you clean, we ready to cook. Y'all gonna eat. And we said, well, we ready to buy the tools. We did a fundraiser right there on Facebook, gather our little coins, grab some shovels, grab some wheelbarrows, grab the materials, made some aprons, everything. We organized with the community for a few weeks, and then we launched first with a cleaning of the community graveyard. It was right after the rain season, so the graveyard needed care. So we first organized. We said, "Yo, let's go pay respect to the dead first before we go and serve the living." They was like, "Yo, let's go." We went to the graveyard. We brushed everything. You can see graveyard gravestones that they was gone. We cleaned it very well. The community said, "Wow, this is great." So they knew we was coming. They knew we was coming. Then we sent out letters to all the stakeholders in the community, letting them know what we was going to do, seeking their support. They didn't like the fact that we was going down to the hood and getting the street boys who were responsible, and bringing them to the forefront and giving them the tools and leading them to clean up the market. And so they're so busy scapegoating the youth and blaming the youth for everything that happens that they don't realize the value that the youth actually have in the community. And so we want to demonstrate that. We also want to empower the people with the ability to have support. We did it the way the community wanted to do it at the end of the day, and it was very, very successful. The first cleaning we did in the market, the people cried, man. They said, we've never seen our market like this. The government has never cleaned this market since I was a child. I've never seen this market clean. They said these people is out here campaigning for our vote, and we've never seen this market clean. You understand? And so it was like, yo, they call me Big JC out here. That's another story. They was like, yo, Big JC, man, only you can put us in the gutter. Only you can make us clean these gutters, man. We don't respect the politics. We don't respect them because if they come down here and help us now, it's only for votes. So it was like, okay, no problem. We did that 4 months straight. 4 months straight we did it, and then the elections happened. After the elections, we had a new mayor in Freetown. She started Transform Freetown program. And that Transform Freetown program started focusing on exactly what we created the Be Clean campaign for. Although they haven't supported us yet, we were the first to clean the market in Freetown during their elections. And what happened after we cleaned the market was that we witnessed different politicians start cleaning their communities. So the issue got into the brains of the politicians that wanted the voters, they wanted to vote to the people that we had in the streets. So they started mocking us, doing the same thing, even though we didn't have nobody on the ballot, we were just doing what's right for the people.
Right,
That's
right,
right.
exactly.
Yeah. Then the president came in new. There's a new party in power, and the first thing they did was start a national clean day. Every Saturday when COVID-19 is not, every first Saturday when COVID-19 is not there, you cannot go outside until 2 o'clock in the afternoon because you got to be, what time? 12 o'clock in the afternoon because you have to be in your community cleaning at that time or in your house.
Right.
So none of that was happening before we started the Be Clean campaign. I want to make that clear. Also, the Be Clean campaign has spread to York, Pennsylvania as well. That's where I grew up at, York, Pennsylvania. My sibling sister, who actually joined community organization, and we had the opportunity to be trained by AmeriCorps. I don't know if you're familiar with what AmeriCorps is.
Oh yeah.
You know, well, the way I see it now, looking back, is that they have neighborhoods that they focus on, and really they say they want to develop and fight poverty, but those communities get gentrified, and so they use the determination and brilliance of poor people that want to be helped, and they give them these expert organizing skills in the process. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my mother, part of her redemption was she ended up being in a community organization called the South Georgia Community Partnership, and they were receiving AmeriCorps training. So AmeriCorps was training community organizers in their style of organizing, how poor people can solve their problems. And so my mother introduced me. My mother introduced me. She was like, yo, you gotta change your life. You're going the wrong way. You need to go do something positive. And I was like, all right, no doubt. She introduced me, my little sister, Felicia Dennis. She's a doctor now. She's a minister.
Oh, brother, I think you're frozen. You hear us? Is he frozen? One second. I don't know if we lost you, brother. 1 second. Okay. I think we might have lost the chief a bit. I think we might be frozen a bit.
I think we may have. Can give him a quick second and see if he comes back in.
Oh, I think we lost the connection with the chief.
I think we lost the connection.
Oh no. Okay. So
hopefully, hopefully the chief will try and come back in. If not, the chief will be back with us because listen, he is
it's not the first time.
An entire wealth of information. And
last time, excuse me.
This is not the last time. He'll be back with us on November 18th to talk about some more of his efforts and the organizational practices in Sierra Leone. And we're going to look at the organizations that are going to be a part of this Be Clean effort that is being launched by the Black BSANI, right? Black Star Action Network International. We have the Gullah Geechee of North America. We have Salam Odolfo, the Ali Initiative, and Black African and Black American, and the Call to Action Worldwide organizations. And so many more are also at this point coming into this effort. And the Be Clean activity is taking place on Saturday, October 24th in Shreveport, LA, York, PA, and Bronx, New York, Washington, D.C., and Freetown, Sierra Leone, of course. So we're going to keep watch of this, and we're going to get a recap when our chief, Foday, comes back on November 18th to be with us again for another Wednesday African in Business. And we're basically talking about organization, community organization, international organization, and centering Pan-African concepts as our foundation in the expansion of Africa for Africans, at home and abroad. Pan-African consciousness and theory. So I want to give a quick moment of silence to Nigeria because Nigeria. because like right now we're gonna give a quick moment of silence. Well, we'll bring our bring Baba Foday back on for a quick second.
Sure.
Wow, Baba
Okay,
Foday.
we
So
got
you
you.
actually got cut off, but we actually did a wrap on the segment. We just basically went through the date for the launch of the program. We let the audience know that you will be back on November 18th to give us a recap of the
Absolutely.
event. We want you to do it quick because I tried to run down the organizations that are going to be to list them out. So we have the Gullah Geechee of North America. Black Star Action Network International is hosting the event. We also have Salam Modalfo. We have Black African and Black American and the Call to Action Worldwide and the Ali Foundation. Did I miss anyone?
Well, the UNIACL is not there, but they should be there.
Okay, got it. So shouts out to the UNIACL as well, who also taking part in this in the 8 cities: Shreveport, LA, again, York, PA, Bronx, New York, Washington, DC, and of course, Freetown, Sierra Leone, for the Be Clean, Let's Vote effort on Saturday, October 24th. Our chief, Foday Ajamu Mansaray, will be back to speak with us for the recap on November 18th. So please be on deck, tell a friend, share the link, and come back on deck, be clean, and let's vote, family. It's a collective action.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much, Baba, for being with us and for sharing with us tonight. So appreciate you. Yeah, we're gonna take down the flyer now. You want to have any quick raps for the people and let them know where they can stay in touch with you at, please?
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach me on the numbers. What's up number again? Yeah, 232-79-858-650. It's a Sierra Leone number, but you can reach me on WhatsApp right there. You can follow the Gullah movement on www.gullaleone.org. Gullah Leone, like Sierra Leone.org. If anyone is seeking to visit, invest, or repatriate to Sierra Leone and would seek our assistance, you can always reach us at GullahDugu.com, which we provide consultancy services as well as assistance with people while they're here in the country. The Gullah Redemption Mission Sierra Leone is a nonprofit company. We have a travel agency. We can completely fulfill the interests that you have. Everything is legal and legitimate here. And we work with the government, we work with the grassroots. My email, BSANI. We also have www.BSANI.org, which is the BSANI website. So those are the websites. For the GoFundMe for this particular action right now, we actually are calling for people to support because we were seeking to have more people involved, actually, but this is the first time that we're mobilizing internationally on a single day in various locations. We pretty much want to test our might a little bit and see what we can do. This Be Clean campaign is a local initiative, but now that we have various local areas, we will organize the various areas into a Be Clean coalition, and ultimately will seek to do something economic with it and create jobs and do our own recycling and things like that within it. So Be Clean campaign to the Be Clean coalition to the Be Clean company, the full complete press. And so that's how we're operating. You can do the GoFundMe at bit.ly. You have the / 355 capital letter R 8 capital letter A capital letter A. That's where you can go immediately for this new activity. Is jumping, is going down October 24th. We're gonna be cleaning up in DC, y'all, and Freetown. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be cleaning up in Shreveport, Louisiana. And the reason why we say let's vote, I want to be clear about that. I don't care who wins, just so you can understand me personally. Right. But I do care about the empowerment of my people. And when I say that, what I mean is that if we can learn to utilize various tactics, then we can see some of this power instead of just grumbling about who else got it. And so I believe in fighting for whatever power is there. And so it's no use having registered and having the ability to say something and not saying it. Especially, we're not just talking about vote for no national. We're talking about especially locally. Vote for your councilman. Vote for the people that you're gonna see every day if you need to. Yeah. Get involved. Be them people. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what Black Power means. Power to the people.
Absolutely.
How you gonna get it? You gonna just pull a gun out and just kill a whole bunch of white folk? It ain't gonna happen. Stop living in those dreams. We need practical solutions to community problems. And elections and votes is times that we can engage our population politically. When there's not election time, nobody thinks about politics or policies. But when it's election time, everybody got something to say about politics and policies. So let us, the Pan-Africanists, seize the time to organize our people into something positive, like being clean all around the world, and tell them to vote responsibly. Vote responsibly. If you're going to vote responsibly. My mom used to say, don't ever pull a gun out if you ain't going to use it. I'm saying, don't go register to vote and you ain't going to do it. Malcolm said it's going to be the ballot or the bullet. I'm saying in 2020, we need both. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to see a bunch of militias and we ain't building no parties. What's up?
There we go.
What's up?
Give thanks. And listen, at the end of the day, that's the responsible thing to do. We're definitely staunch believers here on the Soundbite Show for the maintenance conversation. So listen, we're just so excited and we're just so full with information. I really hope that there was so many jewels that came today from the chief's table, from the chief's spirit, from his heart, from the guide and the ancestors. We've really set this space on fire this evening, and we're really lifting up a foundation of collective responsibility on all fronts. Voting, cleaning, locally, becoming the leader that you want to see in the world, right? Every man has a dream, and every person is responsible for making sure that themselves are an asset to the African landscape. Thank you so much, Baba. We appreciate you. We will look forward to seeing you again November 18th, 9:00 on African in Business. We appreciate you.
Well, blessings, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Peace and love to y'all. Y'all some beautiful people, and I want y'all to achieve everything that you ever put your hands on. It's obvious when the ancestors are guiding certain individuals, and y'all are a pair. I love y'all, and shout out to the rest of the world. If you can, do what you can. BSANI is all of ours. It's not about cliques. It's not about who got what group. We try to link up. We try to snatch some power. You know what I'm saying? We try to get our community straight. And anybody against that, that's their problem, because it's going to be
their problem.
Salute.
Ashe, brother. Thank you so much.
And give her love to the Queen, Malike Mansaray. She's not here with you today, but she will be back. Our sister, the Queen, right, will be back with us on November 18th as well.
Unit energy.
Unit energy. We're going to do that power up right there.
Hey, listen, she's sharp. She's sharp, man. I love my queen, man. She's sharp, bro. Hey, bro, I know why you're smiling over there. That's why I'm smiling over here.
Listen,
you got a queen by your side, man. You can't lose.
Yeah, you got to.
You can't lose with a queen, man. How you gonna play chess without a queen? Impossible. This ain't checkers.
Absolutely. Right.
At you, man. Salute to y'all, man. Thank you very much for tonight.
Good brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, good brother.
Peace and blessings. One love.
So we definitely want that. We thank and appreciate the chief for coming on with us today for this edition of African in Business. So definitely remember to check out those links. We shared some in the comments. A shout out to our brother Reggie Austin for being in support of the BSANI and the nation here and supporting everything with the links. Austin, we appreciate you
being on deck.
Teamwork, right?
Makes the dream work, family.
And definitely, so we appreciate him coming on. We appreciate the energy and the gems dropped to tonight for our African in Business segment. I think before we wrap, we also want to, we understand, in talking about, being with the content and being with our people, we want to give some energy and some time and reflect on what's been taking place abroad, especially Nigeria, and like there's more things going on in Africa, which we will share. But we know that a lot is going on with with SARS and everything going on in Nigeria, and the brutality that's taking place, and the protesters and people just wanting the peace with the people. So we lift up the people for safety and just support in what's going on. And we wanted to share our prayers for Nigeria, share our love, our energy, and our solidarity with Nigeria right now. And all those within the struggles on the continent taking place.
Because trust me, our family is everywhere. We fight like the Bible said. Listen,
it's not the
what's
only
going
fight.
on there is going on here too.
Absolutely.
So there's a struggle. There's a power differential, and then there's also people with their own agendas.
Absolutely.
So we definitely want to stand in prayer and send powerful ashe and protection over the protesters and the people, the innocents over there in Nigeria that are fighting for their rights and their humanity. So family, let's send our prayers, ashe. And we have a protest, People's Organization for Progress, on tomorrow. Stop police brutality, repression, the criminalization of a generation, National Day of Protest March and Rally.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m.
The Newark community, Newark, New Jersey. 51
Rector Street will be the rally point. And we're starting at 4 p.m. And we demand a civilian complaint review board with subpoena power and investigatory power. So family, let's support People Organization for Progress, our good brother Larry Hamm on the ground.
Absolutely.
And the
all
team
day, every day.
and the dedicated community and team leaders at People's Organization for Progress for their consistent stand on the front line for human rights that is due every person. Not black, not white, not all lives. Every life matters. By the divine is given life. Human rights is due everyone. African people, black people have not been getting human rights. So we are fighting for human rights. Peace and blessings, family. We'll see you next week, Monday, 9 p.m. for our regular Soundbytes. 9:30
p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our regular episode of Soundbytes International Radio. Black Conscience Claim One
What world is the aim in your
So you
face.
already know. So we'll see. Thank you for joining us tonight for another edition of African in Business. And we'll see you Monday, 9:30 p.m. right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So make sure you follow those
Give thanks,
all right? One love, family.
Peace, power,
Peace. Have a blessed
and blessings. Keep it fortified.
Bless.